Welcome, beautiful Paris Saint Germain family. Obviously, yesterday we briefly discussed all the transfer news and everything, but I'm here to talk about Xavi Simons and what club he's heading to. Is he staying at Leipzig? Is he going to the Premier League? Is he going to FC Barcelona? Or is he coming back to Paris Saint Germain? We'll be discussing all of that, and I'll be answering all of the questions in this video. First of all, let's take a look at the Spanish reports. Obviously, we know Spanish reports on this channel. They talk the most garbage out of all reporters. Let's come to the report. Xavi Simons has chosen Barca. He has a clause in his contract that allows him to choose which club he wants to go to on loan for another season. Xavi and his agents will have a meeting with PSG soon. Barca is open to getting him, but only on loan, since PSG's likely asking price will be more than 100 million. So let's take the truth away from this tweet. Let's take the lies away from this tweet. One truth is PSG, if they're going to sell Xavi Simons, they will be asking around the 100 million mark. Then, regarding Xavi Simons, yes, he does have power on his future, according to some reports as well. We obviously know when he came from PSV, I think he told Paris Saint Germain, I don't want to stay on the bench at PSG. I want to have a chance at starting at a better club than PSV. So then the low move to Leipzig happened because PSG and Leipzig have great relations, and maybe he has power over his second season because another report mentioned that as well. Xavi Simons has a clause in his contract allowing him to have partial control of his future. He's not made a decision yet for next season. The Dutchman views two things as essential: playing in the Champions League every season, and he wants to have a role, hence significant playing time to continue his progress. Therefore, PSG is gaining more points regarding Xavi's possible return this summer. So even here from L'Equipe, they're mentioning that Xavi Simons may potentially have power over his second season as well regarding a loan move. Whether that he can decide alone in that, we don't really know, but he does have some power. I think that's logical to understand and logical to believe. Then let's go back to the Spanish reports, because they're mentioning that Xavi Simons has chosen Barca, which is obviously fake news. Xavi Simons still hasn't made the decision, whether that's Barca, whether that's going back to PSG, whether that's trying to get another loan at Leipzig, or wanting to leave Paris Saint Germain on a permanent move to the Premier League or anything. This Barca stuff is fake once again, and Xavi Simons personally had to come out. He unfollowed Barcelona on Instagram and then later put this out on his Twitter. Don't let anyone tell you how to move. No one can be better than you can be you. This came out exactly when all of the Spanish reporters put out, and we obviously know Xavi Simons still hasn't made a decision. Why? Because even Fabrizio Romano said it. Xavi Simons will make a decision on his future with PSG before the Euros this summer. The Dutchman could return to stay at PSG, but Leipzig would also be happy to keep Xavi on loan. All possibilities are open. So even Fabrizio Romano here is mentioning that decision has not been made. Even in his latest reports, he didn't mention that. PSG do not want to sell Xavi Simons this summer. RB Leipzig can have 4 permanent transfer loan move. Xavi also have a say in the loan decision. Xavi also say in the loan decision or when he goes. So what we've answered here is Xavi Simons still has not made a decision, but he will soon have a meeting with Paris Saint Germain, the owners of him, and we'll discuss what role he will have at PSG and everything. Then I want to take a look, obviously, at the Fabrice Hawkins reports that came out yesterday that Xavi Simons will not continue at Paris Saint Germain. Breaking: Xavi Simons will not return to PSG this summer. The player is not very motivated by the idea of continuing at Paris. PSG and RB Leipzig will start negotiating a transfer. Premier League clubs are also interested. So first of all, a lot of lies here. Xavi Simons is not motivated to join PSG. This is an absolute lie. When you look at all the reports that have been leading up to this, it's always that Xavi Simons wants to come back. Remember that Xavi Simons was the player that put the clause in his PSV contract to possibly come back to Paris Saint Germain. Well, all of that indicates that Xavi Simons has always wanted to come back to PSG. If he didn't want to, he would have left PSV or stayed PSV and left for another club. So this doesn't make sense at all from Fabrice Hawkins here. He also said Xavi Simons now keen on returning to PSG, and the club has no intention of forcing him to change his mind. He definitely wouldn't be part of the squad next season, despite Luis Enrique very much appreciating him. Once again, I totally don't believe this. From what I know, Luis Enrique likes Xavi Simons a lot. He's talked about him publicly and everything. But obviously, Nasser and Campos also have a role to say in everything. But Nasser did a lot to bring him back. Obviously, it could be for monetary reasons. He wants him back on a very cheap price for 5 million as we got him from PSV, and then sell him for a big price. But once again, the reports don't report at all. Because like 1 month ago, Fabrizio said this: PSG wants Xavi Simons back. Formal talks will follow with the player side. Luis Enrique, Luis Campos wants Xavi Simons to return back to the club this summer. Enrique appreciates Xavi's versatility and is convinced by his performances. All that remains now is to find out Xavi's position, who will have his say. Xavi Simons will return to PSG this summer. RB Leipzig have already taken into account Xavi's departure from Leipzig at the end of the season. They've already identified replacements. So what we can take away from everything, to summarize this video, Xavi Simons will make a decision towards the latter end of the season. He still hasn't made one. He could make one now. He could make one tomorrow, but he will make one throughout the end of this season. He hasn't made one yet. That is 100% confirmed. Xavi Simons still has it. So all of this, he's chosen Barca and he wants to go to Barca. It's once again, it's Spanish fake reports. They did the same last summer. They've done that all the time. Especially Barca, they've gone trophyless this season. So then Laporta pressures Barca reporters to name big players. Last summer, it started off with Messi, Kimmich, Bernardo Silva, Neymar. It ended with Oriol Romeo. So this is nothing new from the Spanish media. And then when it comes to Fabrice Hawkins, I personally have to disagree with him. I think, especially after a Champions League exit from the Champions League, Paris Saint Germain, always these reports come out and so on because they know the fan base is emotional and they will believe anything that has been spit out. From what I've taken from previous reports and everything, it indicates that Xavi Simons still has a future at PSG, but he will be the player that makes a decision. So PSG and Xavi's camp will soon have a meeting where they will discuss Xavi Simons at Paris Saint Germain, and if Xavi Simons wants to go on loan once again, or maybe he wants to leave permanently, or he wants to come back. I obviously think, logically and by everything, PSG will want him back into the squad next season, but we'll have to wait for 100% official confirmation. But Xavi Simons has not made a decision about Barca or anything, and Xavi Simons will make a decision throughout the end of this season. Those are all the answers you need to know. Subscribe to the PSG Into YouTube channel for the best news and exposing, especially these Spanish disgusting fake reports. That's been it from your boy PSG Int. Stay calm, calma, 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 and as usual, allez, allez, allez Paris.